Welcome to another episode of Old Man Running. Hello, Sam.
Hello, Scott.
Thank you for saying hello. So, guys, welcome back to Old Men Running. I can't believe this is our fourth episode, Sam. Um, usually things that like this, they don't get legs, but we've had some good traction. People have been telling us they like what they're hearing and they want to know more about us. So we're at it again for our fourth episode. Um, Today's episode, we're going to recap Sam's race. Sam raced last weekend, and we're all excited to hear how he did. He hasn't even told me what his finish time was, so I'm going to find out when you guys find out. And the only thing I know is that he did it in Clearwater, Florida. So, Sam, tell us a little about the name of the race. Where was it? And just take us through what the weekend.
Well, it was at Rock and Roll. It was a Rock and Roll hosted event. It was in Clearwater, Florida. The course was really good. The expo was great. I did meet one of Bertrand's dear friends, Jim Cordoba. I did hook up with him before the race and after the race, and his sister flew down there from Chicago to run the race. Myself, I did not perform the way I wanted to. I was way off. And actually, for event racing, this was my slowest half marathon. I finished at 2:04. I did want to get a PR, but when I did come up to the third bridge, which was extremely steep, was 2 miles long, that kind of toasted me.
Yeah.
So, but I did finish, and I finished in the top third of my age group. So,
All right.
chalk it up to experience and more elevation training in the future.
All right. I'm quite happy that I ran a half marathon just a few weeks ago, and I'm happy to report that you beat me by about a minute and a half. So I am pleased that you did better than me because you trained more than me. So that's great. And you went with your wife, so I imagine it was a beautiful weekend.
Yes,
there.
yes. She's my best support system I got as far as all the races and stuff go.
Oh yeah, mine too. I don't know. I certainly can't do what I do without Mrs. Stroll. So kudos to the misses.
They're very important.
To Mrs. Pappas and Mrs. Stroll. This episode is dedicated to them.
So pass off to Mrs. Stroll and Nora Pappas.
Hi, Nora Pappas. So they'll never hear this, although my wife did threaten to listen, but she hasn't yet. Has your wife listened to the podcast?
She has listened to one, I believe.
Okay. Yeah. The only female that I know has listened is Bertrand's girlfriend, wife, pseudo wife, Becky. Let's just call her Becky. Yeah, Becca. So, hey, Becca, we're going to see her in a few weeks. They're coming out to New York.
So tell us a little about that race you got coming up, that marathon in New York.
Yeah, so I have a little race in Manhattan with about 50,000 other people. I am grateful to have been accepted as a registrant for New York City Marathon 2023. Training's been going well, so if you listened to the first podcast, you knew during our first podcast, I wasn't even running because of an injury. That seems to have subsided. I let it rest in August and I restarted my training in September. I've been ramping up miles throughout the weeks. Today, I completed my last long run, as you would 3 weeks out. I was going to do it this weekend, but didn't look like great weather. I'm not working today, so I just got it done today. So I did a 15-miler 3 weeks ago, 17 miles last week, and today was going to be 19, but I rounded up to 20. So 20 miles done today in the Fuel Cell Super Comp Trainer V1. Sam and I both love that shoe. He has the V2. I have the V1, and it's a great long day run shoe. I was able to pick up the paces with it. It was comfortable throughout. It's a great fit, and I'm really pleased with that piece of equipment.
Did you do road the whole time, or did you break off from pavement to trail, or did you do pavement the whole time?
There's one particular part I ran through a park, and it's like crushed gravel,
Okay.
and that felt really good. So after the first 10 miles were all road, and then I went another direction, and then I did an out and back for 5, and then I did another out and back for 5. That way I didn't have to build a route. I just had to build a 5-mile route and come back. It made it pretty easy. It made it easy to do 20. And yeah, so running through the gravel was good. The shoe still looks pretty good. I'd probably get another 100 miles out of it. I think I only have 60. I think we just looked on Strava just before we started. No, it's holding up well. I'm not sure if I would want to buy another one of these as a repeat, or should I wait for the V2 to go on sale and look for that? You like the V2, but you didn't try the V1.
Oh no, I do have the V1, but I 2 pairs of the V1s. But lately, with the cooler weather here in Florida, I've been doing my daily runs in the V2s.
Okay,
I like the V1s. I do like the V1s. They're very good.
Yeah,
they're just wore out. I got 300 miles plus in them. So
yeah, I got them late. I think I got them after we had started speaking, but yeah, when they went on sale, I picked them up from Running Warehouse, and
yes,
that's a good place to buy shoes. If I'm not buying shoes at the store that I work in, I get some of plug Fleet Feet. Scott Struhl works at Fleet Feet as an outfitter, and I'm enjoying my time there. It's fun helping people fit into shoes. And they're not always a runner. Some people say I need shoes to walk better, and running shoes are great for walking.
You see everybody from just the casual walkers to probably runners that you have to help out. And you being an RRC certified coach, you have the knowledge now.
Yeah. So it's fun helping people perform better or just be more comfortable. And
absolutely,
I'm enjoying my time over at Fleet Feet. And there's some nice perks to work there. I'm going to work the New York City Expo. So not only am I running the race, but I'm going to be working the Expo, which is I'm going to get to go before they open and set up, and that'll be pretty great to be at the Expo.
That's going to be awesome.
Yep. So if you're running New York City Marathon and you hear this, stop by the Fleet Feet booth. I think that's where I'll be on Thursday, November 3rd. I'll be there from 8 to 3. Come and say hi.
Good deal.
I did receive my start information, and this has me a little bit perplexed. My start time isn't until 10:55.
What corral are you in?
It's like I'm in Corral 4 Blue.
Okay.
And I put, you put in your start time. So based on you put on your finish time. So based on my estimated finish time, slower runners, which I'm going to do over 4 hours, start later. The problem is the buses don't know that. The buses the buses get there for the first runner. So I'm figuring out how I'm going to get to the start line. I don't want to get there at 7 a.m. and then have to wait 3 hours.
Right.
So I'm trying to see if there's a way for me to get into Staten Island closer to 9 a.m. where I only have like an hour and a half wait rather than a 4-hour wait.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to figure that out. I think I can drive into Staten Island rather than go into Manhattan and take the bus. But then getting to Staten Island and then my wife getting out of Staten Island, she'd have to go back to New Jersey and then come back into New York and park the car so that she can see me on course.
Right.
So I might, I love her. She loves me, but I don't know if I'm going to ask her to do that. So I might just take a car service to take me out. It'll cost a lot of money, but I think it'll save a lot of headache.
It will. And the psychological headache is worth the physical money sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. And
it really is.
Yeah. So I think it might be worth it rather than trying to, have my wife drop me off and then be concerned about her getting back into Manhattan.
Right.
So that's the way it could be. Unless maybe I can pay my dad to drop me off instead of taking.
There you go.
Over. Yeah.
Hey,
Dad, you want to make some money?
And just at a quick note for anybody who's watching this, I was not able to get a shakeout run in because the line for the porta potties, even though I got there early, was ridiculous. And I think I sent Scott a couple of pictures of it. The lines, they had a lot of porta potties, but the lines, you know, to do what you got to do before you run, I waited 57 minutes, I think,
Oh
to
gosh.
use it. So yeah, they're there.
Yeah,
And I would chalk it up to experience again.
That's another benefit for going out at 10:55. You know, I'll take care of that from, you know, in the house. And I might need to when I get there again, but you know, not going off at 7 a.m. and not waking up at 3 a.m.
Right.
The only negative thing is I'm starting at 11, and if I'm running 4 hours, you know, I'm not gonna finish running till after 4 p.m., close to 5 p.m. It's almost gonna be dark, but I'm still gonna have a great time. It's the New York City Marathon.
It's gonna be so well worth it.
It's so I'm glad I'm doing it this time. You know, whether I do it again, you'll have to check back in a month and listen to the recap episode and see how I did. But
yes, and we will.
Yeah. Training's gone well though. I mean, I did my long run. I'm happy with you know, the times and my peaking. I think I'm peaking right at the right time. I'm feeling really good. So hats off for that.
From what me and you talked, you're killing it.
I appreciate
You're
that.
doing
Thank
very,
you.
very well.
Yeah, kind of. I want to make sure I get this done. So.
And I do have that wicked triple. It's the 10K at 7, 12:30 is the 5K, and Sunday morning at 7 is the half marathon that I'm going to be doing this weekend. And that's the first time, this weekend, the first time I've ever done 3 races, full races, actual races in a 24-hour period.
Oh,
so
this weekend is the wicked. This weekend is the wicked triple.
Yes, for me, yes.
Okay, awesome.
There's not a lot of people that signed up for the individual races, but at the track club, when I went to the meeting, there was only like 90, a little over 90 that signed up for all 3 races. And I was one of the few in my age group that signed up for all 3. So,
all right. Well, you got a good chance of winning. You have a good chance of winning your age group.
I just want to finish them.
Yeah.
I'm only going to try to do good in one race, and that's the first 10K, and the half marathon the next morning.
Yeah,
we will see. The 5K that afternoon, I'm just going to do it.
Okay, go for it, buddy.
Probably at a half hour. I'm going to do like 9:50 pace for the 5K just to do it.
Excellent. No, that'll be great. They do a race here called the Half Marathon Challenge, where you run a 5K and then a 10 miler every spring. And so that's pretty fun. And you do them right after one back to back. You run the 5K and then 15 minutes later, the 10 miler starts.
And that's grueling.
Yeah.
Very grueling.
So you run a half marathon. Yeah.
Especially,
so it's really like a half marathon, except the 5K, you're really running fast. And then you have to run 10 miles after it, because you don't want to
right.
Some people just say, okay, I'm going to treat the whole thing as a half marathon, and I'm going to go out at my half marathon pace for the 5K and then continue on into the 10 miler.
That makes sense.
So that's one way to do it. Other people try to PR the 5K and then
I don't care for
10 miles. Yeah. So
I can't push it 5K anymore.
I've done it 3 years in a row, so I'll probably do it again. It's a good time. It's like the first race of the spring. It's in March. So,
well, keep us updated on that.
Yeah. So, I haven't seen the registration for it yet, but we'll see how it comes up.
Oh, it'll come around very soon, I'm sure.
So Sam and I had this great idea, just so that you guys can get to know us a little bit better. So we have this segment we're going to call it. I called mine 10 for Sam, and he has his called 10 for Scott. And we just came up with 10 questions that either we think you guys want to know the answer to, or I want to know the answer to, or how embarrassed can I make Sam? So those are the 3 criteria for the questions. And so we have to decide who's going to ask first. So we're going to go round robin. One's going to ask first. So I'm going to ask a question, Sam, and if you get it right, then you earn the right to ask the first question. Okay? So can you name all 6 major marathons?
I cannot.
Okay. Can you name
Boston, Berlin?
That's 2.
And you know what? I'm very ignorant in that category.
Okay, all All right. So it's Boston, Berlin, London, Tokyo, Chicago, New York. That's it.
Okay. I got the first two right.
You got two. All right. So I'll ask the first question then.
Okay.
I'm sorry I came up with a hard question. I thought you might have known that. Okay.
No.
All right. So here's question number one for Sam. Here's an easy one. So you just finished the race. You were at a race, lots of other runners. Did you shoe shop in the starting gate, in the corral? Did you look at other people's feet and say, I'm going to get those shoes? What did you think?
I shoe shopped and I seen other people that had the same shoes I did. And I just looked at all the different brands that I've tried in the past.
Yep. Did you see a shoe that you wanted to come home and say, oh, I want to get that one?
Not really. A lot of other, because I was in corral too. So there's several other runners that were in the same shoe that I was wearing.
Okay. And what shoe was that? Was that
The Vaporfly 3s.
Vaporfly 3 from Nike?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. All right. That was my first question. Did you see any shoes that you wanted someone else was wearing that you would want? Okay. What's your turn?
Okay. Where are you originally from?
I am originally from Brooklyn, New York, USA. Yeah. I was born there when I was born and didn't live there very long. My parents had me, and then they said this is not a great place to raise a family, so they moved us out into New Jersey. So I grew up in New Jersey, but I was born in Brooklyn.
Okay, good deal.
All right, this one doesn't count, but where were you born?
I was born in Detroit, Michigan.
Awesome. All right. All right, my second question. This is another shoe question. How many different shoe brands do you own?
Currently, in my inventory, I have 2 different shoe brands.
Just
I have actually Hoka is I stopped running it in Hokas, and now they are like kind of the Bondi 7s are my work shoes, my walking shoes, but my running shoes is primarily my daily trainers is the New Balance, the Fuel Cells, and my race shoes are the Vaporflies.
Okay, so Nike and New Balance.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's current. I will be moving on.
Yeah, I'm sure. As he sees my shoe closet, Sam is creating a list of what he wants for Christmas.
Yes, I am.
Okay, what's your question for me?
Do you have any siblings?
I do. I have 2 younger sisters, Heidi and Beth. And Heidi lives close by. I see her. And my sister Beth lives in Florida. She lives near Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
She lives here.
Are you the eldest or middle or?
I am number one. I am the
Okay.
first. I am the older brother, and I enjoyed picking on them when I was little.
I'm sure you do.
It's great having younger sisters. They, I don't know if they'll ever forgive me. Every once in a while, I had something that they would want, and I would make them do silly things to get it. So I had this like Super Bowl, and they both wanted it. So I made them like clean my room or do the dishes if it was my turn.
I thought you were a nice guy.
Hopefully, yeah. But I was a good brother. I did good things for them.
Sure you
So I took care
were.
of
I
them.
have no doubt about that.
They never got messed with. Nobody ever messed with them. When we
I
were in
bet
the
they
same
didn't.
room. Right. So, yep. So that was it. All right. I'm going to ask another boring shoe type of question. What shoe brand would you want to be sponsored by?
Currently, at this moment, I would say Nike.
Okay. That's what I thought you'd say.
Yeah. Especially for the disabled veteran area.
Yeah. I think I'd want to be sponsored by I don't know, Budweiser, but if not Budweiser,
I'm there with you on that one.
yeah, or some beer company. Yeah, but if it was a shoe brand, probably Asics or Saucony.
Okay. Which are both fantastic.
Yep. All right, your turn. What's the next question for you?
Okay. Did you have any sport? What did you compete or participate in any sports in high school?
I did. In high school, I was on the soccer team, and then in the winter, I was on the basketball team. I never started a game. I wasn't good enough. Um, but so I kind of just I was on the team, but no, I never started a game. But I went in if we were killing them or we were getting killed. If we were losing bad or if we were winning by a lot, then they put Scott in because it didn't. I had no outcome to the game.
So you did participate in school sports.
Yeah, I did. So
That's
yeah,
cool.
those two. I did not. I wasn't into running in high school, so running is what you did to get better at the sport that you really played. That's how I looked at running. You ran so that you can get better at soccer or football, or you ran so that you can, you sprinted so you can be better at basketball. I never
Right.
considered running as a sport by itself, at least when I was in high school in the 80s.
Well, that used to be a punishment.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
running.
you had
Go
to do
do
laps.
laps.
You had to do laps. Yeah.
Even in football, go do a lap.
Yeah.
Go do laps.
Okay. How about you? Did you play sports in high school?
I did not. I boxed for the city for about a year and a half, but that was all my participation in sports. I did early on. I did city football, but I did not do anything with the schools. And then,
Okay.
like I said, my junior year, I did box for a little bit.
Box. Okay. I imagine that you were good at that with those 10-inch biceps that you have.
Well, no, that's why I quit.
Oh, you got knocked out? Did you ever knock anybody out?
You weren't very good at because if you didn't have everybody in your weight class or your height, yeah, I got put up against some people that were much much bigger. So yes.
So you got knocked out.
Oh, I got put down. I get knocked out, but I got put down several times.
Okay. I never boxed. I never hit somebody unless it was a street fight in the neighborhood. It was unorganized boxing that we did. I didn't fight a lot.
That's the true sport.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't fight too much. I never got in I didn't get in trouble when I was a kid.
Well, that's good.
All right. All right. I have some kid questions for you now. When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Honestly, my dad is retired Army, and then he went to work for Ford Motor Companies in Detroit. And I always wanted to go to the military. And at 18 years old, I enlisted, and now I'm retired military.
Okay.
So that was kind of always my one thing I wanted to do.
All right. So you did it. Great.
I did it. Yep.
Okay.
And you, my next question, do you have a spouse or children?
I do. So we talked earlier about Rena. So Rena has been my wife for 36 years. She's from Brooklyn, and it's a great story of how we met. I'd rather tell you personally when we're together one-on-one, the four of us.
No problem.
It's a great story of how Rena and I met, but it's not for the airwaves.
Correct.
So you have Rena, and we have two children, two sons who are totally grown, Matthew and Daniel. Matthew lives he's slumming it in Whitefish, Montana, a beautiful part of the country. And he's an actor there. He works in a theater company, and he also is a caddy at a golf course.
That's fantastic.
So he's living it up. He loves outdoors, and he loves snowboarding and golf, and he's in a perfect place for hiking and getting lost and being chased by bears. So
Yes.
he's seen bears. I've never seen a bear, and he has seen bears quite often hiking, but never chased. So that was good. And my other son, Dan, who's just a few months younger than Matt, lives in Reno, Nevada.
Wow. Okay.
And he's a golf instructor, and he works at a private golf club.
That is fantastic.
Yeah. So that's him. And how about yourself? Do you have children?
Yes, I have 6 children, 5 grandchildren, a great grandchild on the way. I got one child that lives. 2 of my children live in the Columbia area, Spring Hill of Tennessee. I have one not too far from Scott's son in Montana, and I've got one in California and 2 in Arizona.
Okay.
And my wife is Nora.
Right. All right, so you have a very large family. My
Yes.
kids, I don't know if I'm going to be a grandfather. I hope so one day, or a father-in-law at least. They're busy. They have girlfriends, but nothing not serious. That there's no wedding date set for any of them.
It'll come.
Yeah,
It'll
so
come in time.
maybe. Yeah, so they're going to be late bloomers, and who knows? Maybe they'll go on The Bachelor.
Well, I've only two out of my six children have kids, so
Okay, and how many of them are married?
both of them that have children are married.
Okay, so the other four kids are not married.
No, they are not. They are
Okay.
young
Good.
people too, and they're just I don't have time for it, and they're doing their thing.
Yep, that's like my boys.
Yep.
Okay. This one you might not remember. Let's see if you do. What's the name of your best friend when you were growing up, or 10 to in junior high or grade school?
Actually, I'm in very good communications with him, and we text and talk kind of often. It's Jay Spreitzer that I met in 7th grade, and we both went in the military together. He's retired Army now, and he's a cyber guy for one of the major federal banks, and he travels all over Asia and stuff. But he just got back from Hong Kong after he was locked down there for 3 or 4 years and actually couldn't get out. And he's residing in the northern part of Michigan now.
Okay, so you do remember, and you even talk to him.
Oh, yeah.
All
I do.
Yeah. I don't talk to anybody from high school anymore, or junior high school. Nobody.
I've only got 2 that I talk to from high school.
Yeah. A really good friend of mine, unfortunately, passed away early, maybe about 8 years ago. His name was Harold, and he lives on my block, and we rode the bus together. And we weren't best friends, but we were good friends really young. And then in high school, he got really strong. He lifted weights. He played football and wrestling, and I didn't wrestle. Wrestling was big in my high school. We were like county champs. It was a big deal. Wrestling matches. Yeah. All right. You're up.
Okay. When did you first start running, and why?
I love this question. So I started running in 2017, which is not too long ago, and it was really due to a requirement. But I'll tell you the story about my first run. So we'll save the details of I started running to get healthier. That's really that was why. But I remember my very first run. So this is an interesting story. I was down in West Palm Beach, Florida, and I wanted to get some exercise because I was pretty heavy back then in 2017, and I was trying to get stronger. So I would want to walk after dinner. So I would go out to dinner because I was on contract. I'd drive back to the hotel, park the car, and then I'd go for a walk. Well, it's wintertime. I was down there in January, February, and it would get dark relatively early. And since I didn't really know the neighborhood, and it was near the airport where my hotel was, I didn't want to walk too far, but I tried to go a mile. And it would take me about 20 minutes, almost 30 minutes to walk that mile. And I thought to myself, I want to try to get back to the hotel before dark.
Okay.
So that was my goal. And there was only 2 ways to do that. Don't go as far or go faster. So walking turned into jogging, and I started jogging. And I remember the first time I ran a mile in 10 minutes that I timed. And I said, I felt really good. I bought my first pair of running shoes at DSW, which is not really a running shoe store, but I went there, and because I didn't know what to buy. So I just went there, found a pair of shoes that looked like running shoes. And that was my first pair of running shoes, the sock. And that was going to be one of my questions to you. What was your first pair of running shoes? But that was my first pair. Saucony Cohesion, I think, was the name. And that's how I got into running. I started feeling good, and then I said, okay, I did it in 10 minutes. Can I do it in 9.5 minutes? Can I do it in 9 minutes? And I just kept running and seeing if I can keep getting better.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is history, and it's still being written.
And it's in the future.
Yeah. Do you remember your first run?
I do. It was like we had talked before. I had both my hips replaced, and I was doing the really leery because of what people said about hip replacements. So I was just doing the treadmill for a long time, for 2 years. And then COVID hit and retirees were not allowed to go to the base. They were locked down. So I just hit the road, just tried it out, and it felt pretty good. And that
Good.
was February of 2020.
Okay, very recently then. A little less than me then.
Yeah,
All
very,
right.
very recent.
So we got about 4 or 5 more questions. Maybe we'll just do these in a rapid fire. We'll just answer the
Okay.
question and then go to the next one. I won't ask you the same question you asked me. And
Right,
we'll save
yeah.
that another time. All right. So I think, did you go last or I did?
You asked me the question.
Okay.
No, I asked you. So it's my turn.
Okay.
What was your very first official race?
It was a 5K, and it was for fallen soldiers. It was a fallen soldiers 5K, and he has a name. It's pretty famous. I'm looking over because I have a knapsack with his name on it that I still use to this day, but it's not there. But it was a 5K, and I did it in 30 minutes and 33 seconds.
That's fantastic. I remember my first one too.
So that was it, first 5K. All right. What was your first bicycle?
A Schwinn
Of course it was.
with the sissy bars.
Yeah, of course it was.
Yep.
Every kid had a Schwinn. All right.
Okay. When did running stick as part of your life?
Pretty much after I started training for my first half marathon, and I accomplished it, and I felt so elated that I did it. It was so hard. But
What year was that?
Probably 2018.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say 2018 I ran my first half. So I did a 5K, I did a few 5Ks, and then I trained for that half marathon. It was the New Jersey half down in Long Branch, New Jersey. It was point to point, which was kind of fun. You finished at the beach. My wife saw me on the course, and then the next time
That's fantastic.
that felt great. And then the next time she saw me, I was curled up in a silver blanket, rolling, and Riley on the floor, on the ground.
I know that feeling.
I was just, oh. All right. What was your favorite food when you were a kid, and what is it now?
My favorite food as a kid, because we're Greek. My dad's Greek, first generation Greek American, so we ate a lot of Greek food. So actually, probably the American, what they call it, the gyros,
Yep.
but kaftadas, taropita, all that stuff, all the Greek Mediterranean food, and the Greek salads. I still eat them a lot.
Okay, great. All right.
Okay, when did you first discover Race Mob?
2020. So Race Mob put out pretty much the same time you and I did. So there was, I don't remember if I received an email and how they got a hold of me. But Kevin and Bert did a big campaign to get people to run and move during the pandemic when you couldn't go to the gym, and people weren't going to be alone. So
Same time I did one.
So it was great motivational challenge. I loved it so much that I kind of signed up, right away. I still help Kevin with the website every once in a while. So I am the product director, in quotes. I help with the product reviews on racemob.com. And I haven't spoken to Kevin in a few weeks, but we catch up every month or so. We talk. Both Sam and I both have the same coach that we acquired from Race Mob, Bertrand Newson, and his relationship with Race Mob is that he's part of Race Mob, but he also has his own fitness training company called Too Legit Fitness.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure his plate is full. I don't know if he's taking new clients, but Sam and I are taking clients if you need a run coach, and we've been trained by RRCA certified, and Coach Bertrand has also increased our knowledge of being coaches. So there was a plug in the middle there.
Absolutely. He's been fantastic. Race Miles has been fantastic.
Okay. Other than running, what's your favorite activity or sport?
Besides my volunteering at doing aircraft restoration, I do enjoy the sport of shooting. I do a lot of pistol and rifle.
Okay. How many more do you have?
When did you get your RRC certification?
In May, I took the class in May and I passed the test in June. So not ashamed to say that I did not pass the first time. It was a tough test, 100 questions, and missed it by a couple. I restudied and took it again, and I got a 94. So 94 out of 100.
You smoked
Correct.
it.
So I made sure that I really understood that second time. And RRCA is a great program. I enjoyed the education. I still look at the book every once in a while to calculate
I do
things and
too.
ask questions. So
It's sitting right in front of me. So, I
Yep.
mean, I always
Yep.
refer to it to refresh things.
yeah, I keep mine very close at hand as well. Okay. We talked about food a minute ago, so I have two more questions. What food or meal can you prepare yourself without any assistance?
Just about anything.
Awesome.
I do smoking, grilling. I mean, I am the cook in this house. My wife comes
okay.
home, she's got dinner ready.
I can make two
When I
things.
go, what?
I make awesome toast,
Yes.
and
you boil water.
what's the next thing I can do? I make great toast, and I make the coffee every morning. We don't have a coffee maker. I do a pour over, so I make the coffee.
Oh, do you
So,
really?
yeah, that's my job. It's a kind of a labor of love. It takes an extra.
There is an
15
art
minutes.
to that.
So
There is an art to that.
we grind the beans. I don't grow my own beans. We do buy the beans, but I do grind them. So we buy whole beans, and so I make toast and coffee. Things I can
Well, what a
cook.
treat in the morning for your wife.
Yeah. My wife is
That's
a great cook, so I generally don't need to cook, but I make my own lunch. I can make it.
I am
can
the
make
chef in this house.
Okay. So it's almost time for your dinner. I understand it's,
Oh
we're
no,
doing
she's not home from work yet. So
okay. All right. So you have one more question for me, and I have one final question for you.
okay. What is your next race?
New York City
I think we
Marathon.
already covered that.
Yeah. Ask another one.
What is your expected time for the next race?
I'm hoping
Rough.
to do. Yeah. I mean, 4:30 is I think I can do it around 4:30. That wouldn't
Okay.
be a PR, but I just want to really have a great time. I expect to work on a PR for CIM, which I'm doing a month later. That's my A race. New York is a party race. I want to go out
Right.
with and high five as many people as I can and take pictures and so it's just New York is going to be a celebratory marathon that at my
Right.
age I can still run it, and I'm just grateful to be there. So it's a run for me. I'm not putting together a pace goal or anything like that. I'm just going to go out and have fun. Okay.
And at our age, and that's one thing I want to reiterate, is you go out there and you have a good time and the
Yeah.
community and everything else.
Yeah, I'm going to do my best in some spots, but I'm really going to just run by effort. If I'm tired and I want to walk a little bit, I'm going to walk a little bit.
Absolutely.
Right? If I want to, yeah, I want to finish fast. I want to finish strong. That's all. I want to run through the finish line. I don't want to walk.
Right. And you will. I know you
Yeah.
will.
And because I sneeze, we know that's true. Okay, I have one more very important question for you. You ready for this one?
Sure.
Socks and underwear in the same drawer?
No.
Okay.
I keep all my running socks separate from everything.
Okay. How about this underwear that you wear every day and socks?
Now I got my work underwear and I have my running underwear. They're in the same drawer, but they're separate.
Okay. I have upstairs my regular day-to-day sock and underwear are in the same drawer. Socks on the right, underwear on the left. But in my running attire, I have a sock drawer and I don't really have running underwear, but I have a few.
I
pairs
do.
Sport
I have
underwear.
wicking stuff, and
Yeah, I keep all my shorts and shirts in a big cabinet that used to be.
I
the
always
kids'
wear underwear. I know some people don't wear underwear, but sorry, I wear underwear.
Yeah, even if they have briefs, even if the shorts have a liner.
Because I wear the compressions, I always wear underwear.
Okay,
Some people
well,
don't.
yeah,
That's cool. I've tried it without underwear, and the results were not happy once I got in the shower.
yeah, I did today. I went today without underwear under my tights, and I even went topless for the last 4 miles. I wore a shirt that started rubbing, my upper area, and this hurts. So
Are you using Body Glide or?
I took care of it downstairs, but I missed upstairs.
Yeah, and that does happen.
I forgot to do the nipples. So
Yes.
it started rubbing. I said,
It's an important thing to remember sometimes.
Yeah,
I've done it myself.
So it was about 45 degrees, and I probably looked like a lunatic running there with just shorts on. It looked like underwear because it was tight. So
right.
I'm glad nobody called the cops on me, saying there's a lunatic outside running in his underwear. All right. So I've exhausted my questions. Actually, I had one more question. As a kid, were you Team Batman or Team Superman?
Team Batman.
Yeah, good. Me too. Love Batman. I had the Batmobile.
Actually, I was Team Robin.
You like Robin? I was going to say Spider-Man, but
going back to there, I was kind of. I always let the main character, like Batman took the fall. I would he did it.
Yeah. Batman was my favorite TV show growing up.
Oh my God, yes, the original.
Yes, with Adam West.
Adam West. I love that.
Awesome.
I love it.
Yeah.
Used to watch it all the time.
Yep, that was my favorite show. All right. So everybody knows a whole lot more about Sam and Scott at this point, and I know a lot more about Sam, and I can't wait for him to make me a meal because now I know he knows how to cook Greek food, and I
gotta do it. Just ask Bertrand. I've sent him many pictures because the roast and the ribs and the brisket I smoke, and it takes all day because I got a couple smokers out back.
Yeah.
So yes, I do a lot of smoking.
Okay. Yeah, I love souvlaki and pita and hummus and.
Oh my God, yes, yeah, we have a lot of that.
Yeah, I don't have that enough. My wife has some Greek in her blood, and she just loves Greek salad. Yeah.
Yeah, my wife is also Greek, so.
Okay. Yeah.
So we do a lot of Mediterranean eating around here.
All right. So I probably don't want to go to a Greek restaurant with you because you're going to think it stinks.
Oh, we got a very good one, very close to here that we go to every Thursday. So.
Okay. Yeah, we don't eat Greek often. We probably eat more pizza than we do.
I do that also.
Yeah, we're having pizza tonight. I think it's leftovers, but it's still pizza.
Okay.
All right. So, all right, you want to call it?
Yeah, we're good. I want to thank everybody, and especially my good friend Scott. It's always a super pleasure seeing and talking to him, and he is a true friend.
I agree. Sam and I are doing great together. We're very happy to know each other. So thanks for listening, everybody, and we will catch you on the next episode.
Take care. We'll talk about your race.
Bye.
And my race.
Take care.